Hey everybody, Mark Burgess, Big East Bass Fishing here. Gonna bring you a little video today. Gonna be addressing an issue I'm having with the boat. At the same time, I'm also gonna show you how to change the prop on your outboard. I mean, I've done videos on this before, but for those people who haven't changed their own prop yet, you know, this will be some good information that will help you out. All right, so this is what I'm dealing with. A while back, you may or may not have seen a video, videos, photographs, what have you, of when I damaged my lower unit. Okay, so I hit an underwater rock pile running up the Connecticut River and pretty much destroyed the lower unit. Okay, so worked, and I'll use that word carefully, worked with my insurance company to obviously get the lower unit squared away. Okay, so what happened was it was damaged pretty bad, and my insurance company at the time, I've since fired them, refused to just bolt on a new lower unit. Okay, they insisted that it could be rebuilt, it could be repaired. So if you've seen the videos, seen the pictures, you know what I'm talking about. It was pretty bad. Okay, so I hit this rock pile pretty good, obviously wiped out the prop, bent the prop shaft significantly, took the whole skeg off, really banged up the lower unit, hit it so hard, broke a motor mount, and it damaged the bottom bushing below the block. Okay, so they argued with me about whether or not it was worth rebuilding or just putting a new one on. No matter what we did, they ended up not putting a new lower unit on the boat. They insisted on rebuilding it. Okay, so that's what they did. Straightened the prop shaft, rebuilt the prop, welded on a new skeg, painted it up. On the water we go. Okay, so that was late in the season. Was at a state championship late in the season. It would have been September or even October. Didn't really have the opportunity to run the boat after that, going into wintertime. And then even that following season, where I live, we don't have a lot of water where you can really stretch these things out and go 70 plus miles an hour. So I find myself up on a bigger body of water, up on Lake Champlain, you know, lakes like that, and the boat will not run more than 55 miles an hour, no matter what. Trimmed out, tucked in, sweet spot, all of that. Okay, so prior to that, prior to the lower unit being damaged, the boat ran low to mid 70s with just me, two people, full tournament load. Okay, and so I'm talking two guys, all the gear, live wells full of water and fish, limits on both sides, fuel, the whole bit, just under 70 miles an hour. Now it won't go, it'll go 55, and the motor runs phenomenal. Okay, I've done obviously all the filters, the plugs, I've changed the lower unit oil twice every year. It's, you know, it's well maintained. Always add my ring free, my fuel stabilizer in the winter and all that. And it fires up, runs great, great water pressure, 6,200 RPM, right, not on the rev limiter, but right there. Yeah, full throttle, checked all that, 55 miles an hour. Okay, that's not going to cut it. Okay, so I got people just flying by me, ended up, you know, fishing the same spot, all that. So done a lot of research, friends of mine that run high performance boats, and ran the calculations through a configurator that figures prop slippage, 30% prop slippage. Okay, so talking to some friends of mine, say, hey, you know, you're running a prop that they rebuilt, you know, that they reconditioned for you. I thought I was. Oh, that's it. You know, they redid it and they took cup out of it. Oh, Yeah, geez, I should have figured that out. So anyway, come to find out, I take the prop out of the, my storage compartment where I keep my spare prop. I was not running the prop that they redid, okay? So I was running just another prop, another 25 T2 that I had, okay? Which wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bent, it wasn't dinged up. So I swapped it out. The one that's on it right now is the one that they rebuilt. And I can tell because it's got about a 1/2 inch little margin, scuff line around each ear, okay? So put that one on, no difference. 55 miles an hour, okay? So that's not gonna cut it. So my feeling is that there's something wrong with the lower unit and or either one of these props, okay? The easiest solution to try to figure out the next step is the prop, okay? So my friend, good friend, Ben Hale from Greener Pastures Landscaping, member of Mass Bass Nation, fish, room together, travel together, we fish against each other a lot. Same boat, he's actually got a 21 footer, same outboard, same prop, 25 T2. He willing to let me borrow it, okay, because his boat runs exactly the way it's supposed to, okay? So here's the plan. Here we are, late in the day, prior to the weekend. I'm gonna change the prop out, which I'll show you. I might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Gonna change the prop out, put his prop on, run it tomorrow under ideal conditions, which will be cooler water. Water's probably gonna be in the 40s. Air temp is not gonna be in the 40s. I can tell you that's gonna be in the 30s. But not a lot of wind, a little bit of chop possibly, cool water. Gonna run the boat. And if I run the boat and I'm doing 65 plus to just over 70, I know it's a prop. Okay, so now I'm in. I'm gonna just bite the bullet, get a brand new Yamaha T2, and I should be good to go. However, if it still goes 55 miles an hour with a prop that I know works perfectly well and pushes a very similar boat, the speed it's supposed to go, I know I got an issue with the lower unit, and then we'll take that next step. And I'm not expecting any pushback from my current insurance company. My agent is Chris Fitz with Travelers, and I would recommend anybody to give him a call. Chris Fitz with Travelers, who represents Travelers. I got a much better policy, $500,000 liability, much more personal property covered for about $125 less than my previous insurance company, okay? So, all right, so let's get to it. I'm gonna take the old prop off first, or the reconditioned prop off, and I'm gonna show you some tools and stuff that you need to do this, okay? You're gonna need a 2x4, or in this case, a 2x6. You're gonna need a prop wrench, of course. I like to have needle nose pliers, regular pliers, and a pair of dikes or cutoff pliers to do the job. Okay, so let's get to it. First thing you want to do, cotter pin. Okay, you got to take that cotter pin out. Tough to grab. Do it. All right. You just want to be careful you don't slip. Props are sharp. Straighten that cotter pin out just enough to get the head, the opposite end of the cotter pin, up a little bit. and I can turn it now that it's out of the castle nut a little bit. I can turn it so that I can get a little bit better angle on that cotter pin to flatten it out. Stick the needle nose pliers in there. So I know it's tough to see, like impossible. All right, but what I did was I turned the cotter pin flat once I got it out of the groove in the castle nut, so I can get it, so I can turn it better, get it out of there. Get it a little bit straighter. This is where the dikes and the cutoff pliers work pretty good. It just bites into the cotter pin a little bit and you can pull it out. All right, you can just kind of keep tweaking it out. All right, cotter pin. I do have a new cotter pin that I'll put it back together with. Okay, so now this is where the wood comes in. All right. Put the piece of wood against the cavitation plate in an ear of the prop. It's safer. Okay, so there you go right there. Now turn that off. That wasn't even on that tight enough. You hear me call it a castle nut. This is why I call it a castle nut. Looks like a castle. Now, if you're not sure the order of the washers and so forth, the way they come off, make sure you lay them down the way they came off so they go back the exact opposite way. This flat washer right against the prop. Pull that out. So I just stuck the needle nose pliers in, opened it up, and it pulled. Basically, it's kind of like a bushing, if you will. Now, normally what I would do here, and I think I'll do it, is I take a little white lithium grease, which white lithium grease repels water. And I'm not going too crazy, but basically just put a little grease on that. It just helps with everything coming on and off. All right, so here's the new prop. This is Ben's prop. Make sure that everything's exactly the same, which it is. Yamaha Show 25 T2 15 and an 1/8. Make sure there's a space for that. Brass bushing. You don't want to force it, you just kind of want to let it find its place. All right. Goes back in the way you took it out. See, it goes right in there, nice and flush. Then I take my washer, my flat washer. Castle nut. You know, and I'm just... Now here's where you want to use your piece of wood again. And the whole idea of the castle nut is to line up the grooves with the hole through the prop shaft. All right, so you put your piece of wood back in there. You want to get this pretty tight. Now that's pretty tight, not super tight, but I'm looking for the hole in the prop shaft. There it is right here. So it's pretty well lined up right now with the slot in the castle nut. It's right there where I think I can get a little bit more on it. Tight. Get a little bit more on it. Take more. Come on. All right. Right there. Okay. Holes lined up. Put the cotter pin back through. I like to go through the top. Okay, I got it just right. He's basically using his leverage. Do the opposite that you did. You pull it down through, and then you can turn it to the side. Now I can make that work right there, but I want to turn the cotter pin to the side so it buries down into the castle nut just a little bit. Then I put the long end closer to me on the outside so I can grab it. Right? And that's it. Turn it up, I leave the other one straight. There you go. So I'll just take a look, make sure everything, there's no rubbing, not hitting. Right, so he's got a little nick here. If you're watching this video, Ben, you got a little nick. I didn't do it. But nothing bad. Nothing bad, you know? All right, so there you go. That's the story behind the lower unit and my speed issue. And at the same time, we demonstrated how to take a prop off and how to put a new prop on. All right, so next part of this video is tomorrow at the lake. Okay, so I'll bring you that. Show you putting it in the water, warming it up, get it up to speed, and then we'll see what she does. I'll have the GoPro running and see where we're at. All right. Next stop, the lake.